Okay, just so you know, I record all of my classes. Um, so if you ever miss a day, this will be also on Schoology. But what I want to do is I want to start going through a few things about the class so you kind of know. Can everyone see the board? Does everyone need the lights dimmed? Anyone scared of the dark? So we dim the lights. We'll leave these backlights on. Oh. So I hope, or I would think that you all have used my Cherry Creek before, and you've gone on, you've seen some sort of tiles. You might have a little bit different tiles than I do. You would probably have something as far as your courses go. But Schoology is where this class lives. And there's going to be an awful lot that we're going to do on Schoology. This class is going to be a flipped class, meaning you'll have videos to watch at home, but what I will do is today we will actually watch the two videos that we should have watched this, prior to coming to this class, but I know we didn't, and then that's okay. Some of you might have, but I was hoping you didn't. And in the videos, as you see when we go through it, is something called Play Pause It. You do not need to go back and rewatch these videos. Being that you're here, I will give you the points. So right now, today, you are all earning 15 points for the first video, 15 points for the second video. Now, you might not always earn 15 points. 15 points comes from 10 points for watching the video, and then the embedded questions that are in the video. If you answer them correctly, that'll get you more points. So there's a good amount of points that you can establish by when you go home, and I won't have a video for you to watch tonight. Tomorrow, what we have planned, we're going to do the pre-test just to see where you're at. Because it is possible some of you might move up to accelerated, but there also might be some of you that might need to go down to the integrated math. But we'll figure that out. There's really not a whole lot that you need to prepare for tomorrow's thing. It's just kind of your prior knowledge. Don't worry, I took it by myself the other day, and I almost got all of them right. But you're the teacher. Yeah, don't hold that against me. So when you go into My Cherry Creek, we're going to go into Schoology. And again, my Schoology page is going to look a little bit different than yours because I'm the teacher, so we have different accesses. And we're going to go into courses, and we find Algebra 1, which is right here. So you notice up on the very top is the syllabus for the class. I'm not going to print out the syllabus. Okay? You can take a look at it. But basically, it talks about some of the points, some of the things that you might need for this class. I will always allow you to use a calculator on whatever you want. But some days it might be that 4-function calculator. Now let me explain where to find that 4-function calculator. There's a drawer somewhere in your kitchen. You open the drawer, and it has 26 different paper clips of all different shapes and sizes. It has a stapler that hasn't had any staples in it since 2015. It has random pieces of paper. It has 3 pairs of scissors, in which only 1 pair works. It has maybe a couple of tools that congregated there out of the toolbox. And then there's going to be this little tiny add, subtract, multiply, and divide calculator. You could totally have that. Okay, if you don't have one, you can actually go over to the dollar store and pick one up for like nothing. Well, probably $1. Okay, you can always use that on anything we have in our class. Now, there are some other scientific calculators. There's the bigger calculators. You have the big Texas Instruments calculators and things like that. I don't think we need to necessarily, as a class, or as far as CBL 1, worry about the graphing calculator. If we ever have a graphing exercise, I will show you how to use Desmos at home on your own computer. Desmos is a free, very user-friendly graphing calculator. TI, their calculators are great, but you always have to have y equals. Okay? Desmos, you can put it in whatever form and it'll graph it, so that's pretty cool. The next thing I want to talk about is how to get a book for this class. Okay? So there were 6 of you that had already pre-ordered a book. So you have to go follow that link in there and order a book. And what will happen is they It's an electronic purchase, so it's not a cash purchase or a coin purchase. And you get the book, and once you buy the book, they will send me down that book, and I'll deliver it to you as you get to class. Now, I picked some up this morning. If some of you had purchased anything last night and you don't have the book in hand, that's because the bookstore didn't get them to me at this point in time. So I will check again tomorrow. It's very possible if you ordered a book last night that I will have it for you tomorrow. But the blue packet I gave you would be the same as the book for right now. It's not the whole book, it's just the first few pages. Upload assignments as PDF from computer or phone. I'm not going to do that yet. What I'm going to do with homework now is I will wander around the room and just take a look at your homework, whether it was in the packet or it was out of the book, depending on if you have the book or not, and I will just award you, up to 5 points if you attempted the problems that were assigned. Attempted. Does attempted mean you got them all right? No. But I want to see some sort of mathematical attempt towards it. Like if you just start drawing pictures of a little puppy dog and a palm tree and stuff like that and say, look what I did. Though I enjoy the art, it's not really a logical thought process. But then we have week 1 of videos and notes. So again, after tomorrow's class, you will have week 2 that you will have to watch before you come to class Tuesday next week. You'll have to watch it at home. I will give you tomorrow the notes that go along with it. And that's your responsibility. It's going to be really tough to be successful in this class if you choose not to watch those videos. And again, those videos are worth a lot of points. Okay, 10 of them just to watch the video. The other 5 come out of how many questions you got correct. But sometimes the questions that are embedded in the video aren't necessarily math questions. They're actually like a polling question. Like I might say, hey, I know this is a tougher concept. How do you feel about it? I feel very confident with a little extra practice. I have no clue what was going on, or some other answer. That way, when I see those responses, I know what I have to walk into during one of our 2 days of class, where I might have to go over a concept that might have been tougher. Sure, things are tougher. It's math. But the things you learn in math actually develop your brain to allow you to think at a higher level, which is kind of cool. And again, there's math that we will do in this class that you walk out of the classroom and you're never going to be challenged on how you can do it. But the thought process that your brain developed by manipulating the puzzle, the math problem, allows you to think at a little different level, which is, I think, a pretty cool thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the first video. So when I go into the thing, it says, hey all, no need to watch videos. I gave you, I'll give you the notes on the first day of class, which is today. So we covered that little thing. That little bubble thing is just me sending a little message to you. And then you notice there's 2 different square pieces up there, SLE1, SLE2. And those are the videos that we are actually going to watch as a class. And because you're here, you got 15 points automatically. We're going to get all the answers right today. If you're not here, those that aren't here, it's their responsibility to watch those videos so they can get their points. Notice I also have the notes filled out. So those same notes that are in front of you, I have them actually filled out in case you ever want a copy of the notes. I will give you the blank version. If you choose to fill those out while we do notes, great. If you want the filled out version, take a look at it. And then notice I have a page 1 and 2 copy of the workbook homework. Again, that's the same thing coming out of the book. I'm not always going to post the homework on here. I'm going to wait till everyone gets the book, and then I'm going to stop doing the extra work to post it because you have it. So it's the same thing with the next video. So You ready to watch me teach where you'll hear my voice? You can take notes on that note sheet that I gave with you, the one that says Summer Review at the top left. Basically, those are 2 pages side by side. The left side will be the first thing of notes. The right side will be the second page. Flip it over, the third and fourth pages, and then the second page will be whatever is left. Okay? Part of this, in this packet right now, if you go to the bottom of the, I guess it would be the third page, so front, back, front. Down at the very bottom it says Solving Linear Equations number 2. That's where our start of our second video is going to take place. And usually after you watch a video and you take these notes and you try it, and you try the homework, usually, starting next week, you'll be able to come back and say, hey, I have a couple questions on these types of these problems. So you can ask me questions during class. So it's a flipped class, but this week we're just mimicking what it'd be like of what the expectation is. And then tomorrow I will give you a new packet at the end of class, a new packet of notes, in which that new packet of notes will say, I need to go to week 2 videos. So it looks like next week we have 3 videos there for you to watch. I think it's just 3. Yep, 3 videos. So that's next week. That's what's due next week. That's what's due Tuesday as you come into class. You have watched the videos, and what's kind of nice is there are sometimes when I have to, if I was teaching live, I actually sometimes would go bell to bell. And I'm going to bell to bell, not because it's necessarily a long lesson. There might have been distractions. There might have been someone who came in with a note for a student 4 or 5 different times. There might have been, some other thing that we had to take place. There might have been an announcement that went on during the period. There's all kinds of things. Oh, and then before I forget, if you ever have to use the restroom, they're just down, go out the door to the left down the hall. If those are full, if you go up these stairs, you come down this hallway here, there's restrooms there as well. If you ever have to use the restroom, you don't have to ask me. Take care of yourself. Okay? Doesn't matter if we're in the middle of something. If you have to use the restroom, you know what your body much better than I. And I tell you, I don't know really much about your health, other than you guys are alive and kicking, but you have no idea. There's about 40% of people who have some sort of gastrointestinal problem. Let's face it, if you have to go to the bathroom and you have a gastrointestinal problem, it's not like, I can hold this until 3 o'clock today. Take care of yourself. Okay? I would just ask if you do use the restroom, just kind of keep an eye on if somebody left the room. I don't want more than one person out at a time. There might be somebody who's out for an extended period of time. Give me a heads up if someone's been out for an extended period of time, and then I would allow you then to go to the restroom if you needed to. Deal? I'm not going to give you some 4 pass that says if you don't use any of these bathroom passes, by the end of the semester, I'll give you an extra 5 points. All of a sudden, by the end of the semester, you develop some kidney disease because you held in your urine for way too long. Okay, I'm not going to do that. So I just want you to know, take care of yourself first, please. And deal with that. All right, let me go back to, let's take a look at this week 1 videos. And it's dated. And we're going to watch this very first video. When you go into yours, your screen might not look exactly like this. Again, mine looks this way because I'm the teacher. But you're going to have something on your screen that's going to say, hey, here's what here's what it is. Now, if you have the computer at home, obviously you don't need to worry about Schoology as long as you can get to My Cherry Creek. If you choose to watch it on your phone, you need to make sure you load the Schoology app on your phone. And you can do it that way. Okay? I think you can get to My Cherry Creek on your phone, and I think that the Schoology tile would work for you, but I'm not quite sure. All right, so I'm going to actually hit preview. Again, yours won't say preview. Yours might look a little different, but we're going to watch this first video. So go ahead and take some notes on what this video is. This is me teaching. And we'll actually answer the pause.
Want to go over our first lesson. How we've been doing class for the time being. Think about what's an integer? An integer is just like a number, 4 or 7, 8, 30, 80. Examples of integers in the real world. These are your counting items. Okay, I mean, we can come up with all kinds of real life things, but just think about integers or something. Okay, so addition, this just means we add. Okay, it is basic. We've been doing addition since since we got to school. It's a way of counting up. And if you have the same signs, keep the sign. If you have different signs, then whatever the bigger value is will be the sign. So if you had, say, 10 plus 6, obviously that's 16. If you had 10 plus negative 6, that would be 4. Let's say you have negative 10 plus 6, that would give you negative 4, because this is our larger value. And if I had them both be negative and I added them together, think of this as I'm buying something. So I see something that costs $10, I see something that costs $16 or $6, so I would owe $16. So those are just a few things to think about.
Okay, it now stops. So if you were doing this video at home, you would have to answer the question before it allows you to move on. This is where your points start establishing. Okay? That very last one I talked about, the negative 10 plus negative 6, I used a term saying you see something that costs $10, you see something that costs $6, and you want to buy both. So that's the terminology I use for positive and negatives. A lot of times, if you had, like, say, the one above it, the negative 10 plus 6, you see something that costs $10, but you only have $6 in your pocket. So are you going to owe more money if you want to buy it? And the answer is yes. Okay? So let's take a look here. It says the question they gave us is, if I add two negatives together, my answer will be, what do you think? Yeah, it's negative. So what you would do at this point is you would just click negative and hit submit. And it tells you it's correct. If you didn't get it correct, and you're like, I need to get all the points I can get, you can always rewatch the video again. That's your choice if you want to do it. But if you pay attention to it, I'm not making the problem so difficult that it's going to, lose you. But I have these in place. So one, I know you watched the video. Two, you have some thing. So once you get to this point, notice the video hasn't started back up. Well, just go ahead and hit play again.
Subtraction, same idea. This is just you taking things away. But if you have this regular numbers, let's use, say, 10 and 5. 10 subtract 5 is 5. But what would happen if I have 10 subtract 5? Or 10 subtract negative 5? These two signs here change to an addition. This actually becomes 10 plus 5 as a problem, which is 15. Okay? But let's keep going. Let's say we have negative 10 minus 5. Well, that's going to be, we're going to continue to get more negative, so that's negative 15. But let's say I also had, say, negative 10 minus negative 5. That's going to, again, the double negatives in a row, so that means that has to add. So this problem will change to negative 10 plus 5. So you see something that costs $10, you have $5 in your pocket, so you still owe $5.
We have our next question. It says, if I have 8 minus 3, what does the double negative do? What do you think the double negative does? Go ahead.
You add the
Yeah, that double negative becomes a plus. That actually becomes 8 plus 3. And if I add 8 and 3 together, what do I get? Good. So again, but I wanted to just show you. Let's say we made an error. We're going to make an error on purpose. Is that okay? Sure. Oh, I think it's -5. Submit. You get the red incorrect. If you did that on these videos, that means you're not going to be able to earn all 15 points. You're going to earn guaranteed 10, but now that last 5 is in there. But then it does tell you what the correct answer is as well, so maybe take a look at it. If this becomes one of those where you're like, oh no, I definitely need Mr. Stirrup to talk more about this next time we have class, maybe put a little note on your notes saying, hey, I need to go over this more. That's what these 2 days in class are really going to be used for come next week.
Multiplication. This has been going on for some time. Let's just pick 2 numbers. So let's say I have 4 and 3. I multiply those together, I get 12. 4 times -3, that will be a negative answer. -4 times 3, that also gives me a negative answer. If you have 2 negatives that you're multiplying together, that would give you a positive number.
We have another question. It says multiply -7 and 10. First off, is the answer going to be positive or negative? Negative. What is -7 times 10? -70. Giddy up, -70. So we're going to hit that. We're going to hit submit. Boom, we got the grade correct. Yay!
Division is all kinds of things. So you might have had something like 10 divided by 2. That would have been written like this as well. That would go 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10. Subtract 0. So the answer to this problem would be 5. Another way that you look at division would be as a fraction. Okay, the negatives still take place the same way. The -5. So just note that multiplication and division, if you have even number of 2 or 4 or 6 negative numbers, it would keep it positive. If you have an odd number of negatives, then the whole answer will be the same.
Okay, I feel this is a polling question. It's not right or wrong. This is where I get the information knowing if my lesson is going well. Okay, do we feel good so far? Or are we a bit confused? Is anyone confused? Let me know. Let's just say we are a bit confused because we know that I'm hoping everyone says, oh, good so far. But let's say we say I'm a bit confused. And I hit submit. It says submitted. It doesn't say a right or wrong answer. But that's where it tells me as the teacher, oh, there was an example I did. And if I see a lot of people who are a bit confused, that means that my example I did wasn't clear. So I get to go over that in class again, which is totally fine. Maybe I have a different example that helps you along with it. Okay, so don't feel that that kind of question is going to lower your grade at all. That kind of thing is going to actually allow you to improve your learning of math. Now, I know that some of this stuff is relatively simple. This is very much elementary math that we're looking at right now. So, for the most part, everyone's going to probably say good so far. Okay? But, again, I just wanted to put, the blatantly obvious that, the majority of the people right now wouldn't say they're confused, but I wanted to mark it so you see that it's not marking it right or wrong. It's just taking kind of a climate survey of the lecture. And it looks like I have 2 more questions as we go through this.
So order of operations. These are your parentheses, but they also be square brackets. Exponents would be like if I had 7 to the 3rd. This right here is your exponent. It's the raised power. And then m is multiplying. E is divide. these hold the same operation magnitude, with addition. Then you have, again, these are the same order. When I say the same order, that means you do it right or left to right, just like you would read a book, left to right. So let's go ahead and practice. So the first one, it looks like we have some parentheses, so let's take care of that first. So that's just going to give me 6. Notice I have it squared, and divided by 3 minus 4, so I took care of the parentheses first. Now I have the next one, so we need to take care of this. Okay, 6 squared is 6 times 6, which is 36. And then you have division. Division is going to take place before the addition or subtraction. So how many times does 3 go into 36? 3 goes through once, 3 goes into 6 twice, and minus 4 comes down. So this gave me an answer 12. And now this is addition and subtraction, so we'll do it from left to right. 6 plus 12 is 18. 18 minus
18 minus 4. What's the answer?
14.
14. Oh, look at that. I kind of did a little trick on it, so you guys are paying attention. So 14 is the answer here. And then we'll finish up the rest of it, but I was just trying to see if we go along. Submit. Boom, correct.
minus 4 is 14.
Hey, there we go.
Again, we're still practicing. So notice we have input parentheses, instead of parentheses, we have exponents. That's our division problem. So let's take care of this part first. 2 to the third power is 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So on top I'm going to get 8 divided by 4 over 2 minus 12 plus 1. What's 8 divided by 4? 8 divided by 4 is 2. And 2 over the other 2 is that. What's 2 over 2? That's 1. So then 1 subtract 12 plus 1. Addition and subtraction, left to right. 1 subtract 12. The dollars cost $12, so you have $11 that you owe still. So now you have 11 plus the 1. Now you still owe $11. You find another dollar in another pocket. So now you owe $10. So think of negative answers like you would owe 1. On these ones, we're just going to substitute into the letters. So we have these variables on the top here, like x is equal, y is equal, z is equal. So we're just going to plug in what we know. So I have 2 squared on top. And then on bottom, I have 1 plus 5. On top, I have 2 squared, which is 4. On bottom, I have 1 plus 5, which is 6. And then we should look to reduce. 2 over 6 reduces to 2 over 3. 4 over 6 is 2 over 3. Okay, now we're still going to be plugging in numbers. So I have this 2 out front that stays. Anytime I have 2 letters together, it means I'm going to be multiplying. So my x value is 1, and my y value is 2, plus my z value, which is 5, plus 4 times z. 4 times z is 4 times 5 over 2. Let's take care of what's inside the parentheses now. 1 times 2, that just gives me 2. 2 plus 5 is 7, plus 4 times 5 is 20, so I get 20 over 2. So that's going to give me 14 plus 20 over 2 is 10. So that's going to give me an answer of 24. Then we have the square root, we have a radical. Okay? So I have root 2, my y value is 2, and I have 2 to the third. These are being multiplied together, but I have to take care of the exponent first. I'm going to take care of 2 to the third first. So 2 to the third, remember, is 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Then I have 2 times 8 still underneath the radical or the square root sign. And does anyone know what the square root of 16 is? Yeah. It's 4. Let me go across the distributive property. This sometimes can be a little tricky. Okay, I'm going to use the highlighter. Notice I have this negative 5 out front. So that negative 5 gets distributed to both terms. So the 3 just comes down to the right. Negative 5 times 4 is negative 20. Negative 5 times 3x is negative 15x. These are like terms, so I can combine them. I can't combine the x with it because it's not like terms, it has an x with it. So I have $3, I see something that costs 20, so I have 17 that I owe minus the 15x. And this problem is done when it looks like that. Okay, there's no reason to go any further. Some students might ask, could I have this for an answer as well? And the answer is yes. Just make sure the signs that are preceding the number, prior to the number, they get taken care of. This next problem, we have two different things we're distributing. Here, I'm going to distribute this half over here and here. Then I'm going to distribute this -4 here and here over the parentheses. Okay, so half of 20 is 10, so I get 10a. Half of 24 is 12. -4 times 2a is -8a. -4 times 1 is -4. This, the ones with the a's, those are like terms, so let's combine them. I have 10 a's and I have -8 a's. 10 minus 8 is 2, so I'll end up with 2a. And then I have 12 and -4, so 12 subtract 4 gives me 8. And you also could have 8 plus 2a, either answer would be appropriate.
All right. Oh, very last question. When distributing, you must be sure to distribute the negative if it is present, ignore the negative present. Yeah. And then the most important thing with this is you hit submit, but you might not be done with the video. So just hit play one more time.
Very much, everybody. Have a great day. Take care of one another.
Now that it is registered that we watched the video. Okay? So, and then it gives us a little thing. Said, hey, we did miss one of the questions. So I would say, if this was you as the student and you missed one of the questions for whatever reason, you have a total of 15 points you could earn. 10 are just watching that video and taking the notes. 2/3 of the points you get comes just from watching the video. But this student would probably wind up with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions. One of them was a feel-good question, or a polling question. So this student would probably get a 14 out of 15 put in the grade book for this lesson. Now, I'm not going to give you all a 14 out of 15. You were here. We're all getting a 15 out of 15 for today because you were here. Pretty cool, huh? Is there any questions about that? And trust me, I know that there sometimes becomes frustration, and some people might say, why are you flipping the class? If we only have class twice a week, I can't get anywhere close to completing all the content. If I can't complete all the content, that's not fair to you, and that's not fair to the next class you take. Because there's an expectation that we teach a certain amount in this class, so when you get to the next class, you have a pretty good knowledge of it. Now, there's one more video, correct? But we have 10 minutes left. So that video, I'm going to put on all of you. I'm going to put on all of you to say you need to watch that video tonight. But let's go back to this. Courses, oops, algebra 1. So we watched that first video, right? We're in week 1, correct? So notice, some of you have the book, right? The others of you, I've given you a sheet of paper or a packet of paper, correct? I think it's blue. So if you were gone, you could just hit this copy. Now in the next couple of weeks, everyone should have their book. So again, I will not be doing those. But what I would like you to do is this. Hear me out, because I don't want you to go home tonight and be like, oh my gosh, I have so much homework that's due tomorrow. There's one thing due tomorrow. One. And that is to watch SLE 2. You just have to watch that video. You have the notes. Remember I said on the 3rd page at the bottom right was the start of that video? That's all you have to do tonight before you come to class tomorrow. Because I want to make sure that when you come tomorrow, I want to make sure that it works for you. I don't want you to wait until Tuesday next week going, doesn't work. I want to make sure it works. Okay? Now, I have not assigned at this point anything out of your homework workbook. Agreed? I will give you something for for tomorrow that will actually be due on Tuesday. So come Tuesday next week, I will know by tomorrow that you watched the video. And this is the only time I'm giving you only one night to watch a video. I will normally give you 5 extra days. Meaning, you go from Wednesday to Tuesday. I guess 6 days. Okay? Does that make sense? Have I assigned any homework out of your book at this point? No. What's the only thing I want you to do this evening? Just watch that SLE number 2 video. If you start coming across any problems, I will check my email. Last time I will check my email, and this is just for my own mental health, I will check my school email by 8 o'clock tonight. That'll be the last time I check it. Just because I don't like checking it any time closer to when I go to bed at 8:05. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't like checking my email for school too close to when I go to bed because I don't want to think about if somebody's having a problem because then I lay awake at night and I don't like that. Now, other things I want to just talk about real quickly. On Mondays, I will have like office hour type of things. If you need like help on something. Send me an email saying, hey, can we do an office meeting real quick? And we'll do an online office meeting where I'm in my office and you're at your home or at the Starbucks or wherever you're doing it. And I'm happy to help you. I don't want to necessarily assign a time because I've heard some of these other teachers talking, oh, I'm going to assign a time that my kids have to do it. Well, what if the English teacher has the same exact time? That doesn't make sense to me. So anytime from 7 until 4 on Mondays, if you wanted to do an office hour that we meet online, send me an email. Give me a heads up. But will you also tell me what class you're in? Just in case I have like 3 kids that want to meet at a certain time for CP Algebra 1, and then I have 4 kids for Accelerated Algebra 2 that want to meet at different times, then I can kind of schedule it so we can have like multiple sessions. Okay? So tomorrow we have a pre-test. But my expectation before you come tomorrow is that you watch SLE2. And my expectation tomorrow is that you didn't go and do homework out of your book or the packet I gave you. You don't do that. You watch the video. That's all you have to do. And then come to class. Could you bring a pencil tomorrow, please? If you don't have a pencil, I have some extras, so don't panic if you get in the class going, uh-oh, all I have is a crayon. Because we're going to do that pre-test tomorrow just to make sure that you're all in the right spot. One, if this is way too easy for you, I want to know, and I'd like to move you up to Accelerated. If this is like blowing you out of the water, I want to move you to the appropriate math class because I will tell you something about classes in high school and in college if you choose to go to college. There's nothing worse than being in a class that you're not prepared for. Because you get upset, you get angry, you get unmotivated. It's disheartening. And it's not because there's anything wrong with you. It's just that you hadn't been prepared for that at that point. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, learning is a lifelong adventure. Again, I had told you all last week, I'm going to learn more from all of you than I actually will teach. And that's pretty cool. But don't make me somebody that you don't feel that you can ever reach out to. Send me an email. Again, I'll check my email up until what time at night? 8 o'clock. Okay, so if you have something that came up, send me an email. Say, hey, Sturb, it's Billy from first period CP Algebra 1. When you have two negatives, I don't remember how to do that. Maybe I can answer the question just back to you in a message. Okay? But I will check the emails up until 8 o'clock. And then after that, I will then check my emails when I first get to school the following morning. So don't feel that I'm not answering the email. If you send me, I mean, I've had students send me emails at 3:30 in the morning because, you know, there's a timestamp on it. Ooh, what's this kid doing up at 3:30 in the a.m.? But it happens. Okay? So, SLE number 2. Does everyone feel comfortable getting to it on Schoology? I would say before 8 o'clock tonight, make sure you log into Schoology and you can make it work. If it's not working for you, send me that email. That way we can try and figure out how to make it work for you. Sound like a deal? Anything too tough yet? Anything that's scary? What happens if you ever have to use the restroom? I just go. Take care of yourself. And I'm not like normal teachers that do that. I mean, I've seen so many sillies with teachers. I'll let you get out of here at 9:11, so we have a little bit over a minute left. Is there anything you need to tell me? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then, if you ever want with your workbook, that's a great question. If you ever want with your workbook, rather than bringing to school and cross-contaminating it, do you have a phone? Yeah. Can you take a picture with your phone? So, if you want to take a picture, or if you want to scan it on your phone, do you have an iPhone? Do you know how to scan PDFs? You can do it that way, or take a picture. So when I'm coming around the class, if I come to you and you have your phone open, like, here's my homework. Okay, can you go to the next page? Okay, thank you. Notice, I didn't touch your phone. I didn't touch anything on your desk. I just wrote down what your score was. Sound good? And that goes for everybody. If you choose you want to do your homework that way, take a picture of it. Or you scan it. If you scan it as a PDF, that works pretty cool. Figure that out. If you have an iPhone, it's under the Notes app. Under the Notes app, you hit the picture, take a picture, it says scan as a PDF. Yeah, boom. Take a picture of that, flip it over, take a picture of the other side, save it. It's saved as one PDF. And in fact, if we go to online learning, that's how you will actually submit your work to me. Somehow scan it in. My friends, I'm at the end of the period. The bell hasn't rung, but I want to let you all go. I want you to have a great day. And you know what, everybody? Take care of one another.